Oh man, I don't want to be de-rezzed. Yo, Firefly. What? No, I'm not Firefly. Of course you're Firefly. Stop joking around. Can you believe this guy? Zartan, what do you think? Seriously, looks like Firefly to me. Seriously, guys, I have no idea who you are. Stop joking around, Firefly. Hey, are we ready to blow this up? Come on, Firefly, we got a job to do. Seriously, who are you guys? Oh, great, there you are. That's why we lost you back there. It's a good thing you're with us, Firefly. Who is Firefly? Stop joking around with us. I give up. Hello, toy fans. I'm here with another one of our Fortnite toy openings. Of course, we're going to go back and look at one of those older Jazwares Legendary Series action figures. I love these 6-inch action figures, and I've got to admit, here lately, I've kind of been getting into the G.I.Joe Classified from Hasbro. Havoc here from Fortnite in Jazwares seems like he kind of plays a nod and a wink to a certain G.I.Joe character that we have yet to see in the Classified series. Of course, I'm talking about Firefly. Honestly, Hasbro, we need a Firefly, and we need a classic one. This might just stand in as my classic Firefly for a while. Now, Havoc here, of course, comes in the open front face box that Jazwares puts out. It is Fortnite as part of the Legendary series. Inside, you get to see Havoc here all posed up, along with a couple of emote faces. We get to see the backup plan back bling, the instigator harvesting tool, along with the scoped assault rifle, grenade, and a chug jug. So quite a bit of accessories with this figure. It does boast 40 points of articulation. There are 8 pieces within this set. And then we get the computer generated in-game skin over here for our figure. Let's check out the back. Of course, on the back, we get that Fortnite logo up at the top. It says Havoc, striking fear into the opposition. And he's standing there. Now, this is kind of a reskin of Condor, but done in a more kind of militaristic, kind of snow sort of, urban camouflage sort of way. And he does look a lot like Firefly. We might even compare him with, say, our Glow Raptor, because I have a feeling they're going to be very similar in style. Down here we do get the figure includes one figure 6-inch along with 7 accessories, and we do get some cross-sell art here. We got the Enforcer, which I have yet to get. This is one that slipped out of my hands a couple times. Rabbit Raider, which we'll be looking at more towards the Easter holiday. Wild Card, which I have not been able to get. The Skull Trooper in purple deco, which I have not been able to get. And the Visitor, which honestly I need to open that one and the Scientists up soon because they're kind of key figures. That would be great to have. Now that's Havoc in the package. It looks great in there, and there's a lot of cool things going on. The package looks great. The color behind him is amazing. But the package at this point is not going to tell us anything else about this figure. We need to get this one opened and get to battling. And of course, straight out of the package, this is Havoc with all of the accessories. Now, Havoc here with his really cool Firefly sort of get up has some really interesting things that still kind of make me think Firefly. Notably, a couple things. One of which is the green scoped assault rifle, which they added, which, if I remember correctly, the Firefly from the G.I. Joe, original G.I. Joe run had a green rifle that was released with them. Along with that, this cool backpack called the backup plan that has, of course, a demolition bomb on there. Oh, wow. So this really does feel like kind of a nod to Firefly no matter what. Now, of course, let's take a look at that back bling. It's got really, really good, so it's sculpted in gray, and it's got really good paint deco on there. You've got some metallic reds. Of course, you got the evil shark face on the bomb. And then, of course, you got a lighter gray for the camouflage. Over here, you've got kind of a reprising of a champagne sort of metallic look. And the same with the little bomb over here. And it is nice. You also have that harvesting tool, the Instigator. Of course, it looks like metal that's been all scratched up. It's got kind of a jackhammer arm here to it. It's really nice, and it has a very nice wash of metallics over it that makes it look kind of metal. It's actually pretty cool. Mine's bent a little bit because I think the package got a little hot. and so it's kind of bent in his hands. But this is a super cool one. I guess you could use as an axe on this side or a pick on this side, and still probably hit something with that. Okay, with that, you do have that scoped green assault rifle, which is pretty cool. And it's predominantly kind of this olive drab green. It's got like a variance in the plastic, so it looks a little bit camouflaged. But then you've got some nice washes of metallics over it to make like the rags and some of the fore handles and barrels stand out. And it's weird because it's kind of a silver metallic, but it feels more like a wash. So instead of it being, nice and set, it's barely there, which makes it feel like this should have been washed in more of a black instead. You do also have the chug jug, and of course, to replicate the duct tape, they've got the silver paint here, of course the blue for the chug itself, and then it is actually casted in this light blue plastic, which is supposed to be the jug. You do have a handle here, and it looks like this handle might actually work for the left hand this time. We'll have to check the hands and see how this works out. But it's got some really good detail up there, and it looks like a jug, like what you think of as that chug jug. You also have the grenade, and I happen to like this grenade. Now, this grenade does not have any thumb holes or anything in it because it's narrow enough it should actually fit in his hand. There's the green, I believe it's casted in, looks like it's casted in that green, and then it has the silver highlights on the metallic portions and the blue for the little charge there. Alright, you also have these two emote faces. So you've got kind of a surprised emote face, and then you have the hood up face here where he's like, ha ha ha. Honestly, there's a part of me that kind of wishes I wouldn't have seen the face. Instead, I would have kept it to where it was like maybe scowling eyes, regular eyes, and then surprised eyes. But, I'm still good with having all these faces, and we'll check these faces out to see how they fit on them. As far as the figure, he's got a lot of the standard articulation. Of course, he has that ball-jointed head. He does have the hinge that allows him to look up that far, look down that far, and over. With this one, the head doesn't seem to want to break off like others in the past because it's not over-sculpted. There is a little bit of a stop because of this hood here, so there is a little bit of hindrance in articulation. You do have those ball-jointed, or it's the ball-hinged shoulders up here. There's I can't tell, no. I think this is supposed to be a little bit of a butterfly, but it doesn't feel very butterfly, so I think it's just kind of ball-hinged there. You do have the swivel biceps, the double-hinged elbows. You do have the turnable ball-hinged wrist along with those hinged fingers. You do have a nice ball-jointed chest up here. You do have the swivel at the waist. You have the ball-hinged legs, so the thighs up here, along with the thigh swivels, and they're hidden quite nicely with this band on the leg. You do have the double hinged knees that go all the way up. Pretty nice. You do have the boot cut here, which allows for the swivel. You do have the ankle hinge here, along with the foot cut and then the toe cut. And the same thing's on the other side. Now, I happen to notice mine on this side is pretty tight for a lot of the joints. I know the elbow up here is super tight, and then the leg is fairly tight. Yeah, he can go out about, if I can get it, about this far. So if he wants to kick at somebody and do like the Firefly style karate kick, it's about as far as he's going to go. And the way that this hip is sculpted up here, there is a little bit of hindrance if you want him to be a vehicle driver. Now with that, he does have some really nice paint up. He's got some good solid like glossy blacks here, along with the reds for the shells. You also, he's casted in this light gray, and then you've got the dark gray for the camo. But he has like almost like water slide, like printed decals, like a sergeant over here, and then a bomb emblem over here, which makes him look tough and militaristic. With him, let's check out that back bling. So the back bling's just going to go and sit right in on post, and already I am getting super Firefly vibes, without a doubt. With the faces, we'll pop up this face, and we'll look at that surprise look. What? I blew up a whole building? Oh no. And then like, no way it was me. My face wasn't on camera. What? Yeah, I'm not too keen on this one. This one is like, I think for me, I felt like that was a little bit of a mess. But let's see, that's a surprise. I like the regular face for him. I like the kind of more serious gameplay face. With that, we do have that bomb, and that fits nicely in his hand. Look at that. Pretty good. I'm digging that one. All right, Chug Jug. Chug Jug, looks like it doesn't really fit on the right hand. Let's try that left hand, see how it works out for him. Sometimes these, with the way the fingers are made, they're kind of iffy. Whoa, goodness, I just lost that. Well, we'll have to continue on with Chug Jug. Chug Jugs don't really work, I guess. With this, we have his harvesting tool, and it fits in either hand. It looks pretty good. But I think for me to complete more of the Firefly look, we're going to put this up in his hands. Bring it all the way up. Bring this hand over. Oh yeah. I think we got ourselves a Fortnite Firefly action figure. Let's compare him with a few others. And of course, this is Havoc along with Glow Raptor and Ghoul Trooper for our, I guess, our trio of soldiers here. And you can see where both the Glow Raptor and, of course, Havoc here have a lot of the same reused parts. They've got some reused thighs up here, of course, the knee pads, boots, bottom of the legs, even the main torso, and then the upper arms, along with the hands and elbows. Some of the changes, of course, faces, and then these upper arms here are different along with this thigh. Those are all different. However, for the most part, they're the same thing. And in game, they're kind of the same skin, having borrowed off of Condor. As a matter of fact, this headset that is on Glow Raptor, I bet would also fit. Yeah, look how nice and neat. It fits directly on Havoc, and it looks great. And as far as these being a troop of you know, explosives experts ready to take on the world, I'd believe it. Let's compare Havoc with a few other figures from other lines. And of course, here's Havoc along with a whole run of Hasbro figures and a Mattel figure as well. We've got Havoc along with Stinkor here, and of course, keeping in mind the size difference, you know, the New Eternian and the Masterverse figures are 7 inches, but you've got to look at them in scale. Those guys, they're going to be huge. So if Havoc's an average, let's say 5'10" to 6 foot person, then, you know, Stinkor is going to be about 7.5 feet tall. It makes sense. In this case, I think it works out great. Along with that, of course, you got the Blue Ninja from the G.I.Joe Classified Ninja set, which I do need to actually talk about these for once. And then Dio, that almost comes in the same height. I would say that the Blue Ninja is probably at 6 foot, Havoc's probably about my height at 5'10", and Dio is probably also 5'10". She seems a little tall, but it works out. I think that they scale up nicely, and I think Havoc would work with the G.I. Joe Classified line very easily. All in all, I think this is actually a really, really good action figure. It's one of those that at first I never really thought I needed a Havoc. I saw it and I was like, that's Fortnite trying to steal over on a G.I. Joe IP, and you know, at one point I was a little upset, and I'd kind of lost some of my love for Joe because after the 30th anniversary, 3 3/4 figures, and then it just kind of dying off, and then some of the stuff that we got with the second G.I. Joe movie, I was just kind of distraught and upset and didn't really care for some of the stuff that was coming out. So I had kind of grown not to disdain G.I. Joe, but to not be quite as in love with it as I had been in the past. And ever since I picked this up, I started kind of getting some of that, you know, childhood lack. Now, granted, this isn't a G.I. Joe figure at all, and this is actually a Fortnite figure, but it really does fill the realm of what you would get with a G.I. Joe figure very, very easily. I think all in all, the look is incredible. I think the accessories he comes with, all from the same season, are really, really good. And it's a nice nod to what we got with the G.I. Joe figures in the past, and whoever decided on what went with them. I really do think that they had a G.I. Joe sort of Firefly aspect in mind, because it really does feel very much like that figure. Now, this is such a cool figure, and I would definitely say if you ever get a chance to come across one, I would actually get it. The one thing I don't care much about is the second emote base, but everything else is a solid buy. Now, that's all I gotta say about Firefly. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Havoc from Jazwares Legendary Series Fortnite. Remember, they're not dolls. In this case, they're action figures. Action figures that blow up other IPs. When I'm not recording videos here on YouTube, I'm actually over on a podcast on marvindogmedia.com called Talking Toys with Taylor and Jeff. It's a really cool toy podcast. Be sure to check it out. Also, I need your help getting my YouTube channel to grow. Be sure to subscribe down below with that big red button. Hit that bell for notifications so you can be alerted of anything that comes from me to you. Like this video, it helps YouTube know that you like what I'm making, and comment down below. I like chatting with you all.